Welcome back. We are going to talk about basic array operation methods. So in JavaScript has a built-in functions that we can basically apply directly on arrays, and these are called methods. As we think of the methods as an array operators, basically they are actually countless array methods in JavaScript. We have a whole section dedicated to it because it is important in JavaScript. We'll see about that in the further. So basically here you start get used to it. So the idea of using an array methods. Let's take an example from the last video, friends, and let's call this one as a push method. So basically I just wanted to add one more person's name as an array. So for that, so let's call this one as a push method. It adds elements to end of an array. So let's see that. So here we'll declare friends dot push, and then we'll declare name Lohit. Okay, and then console dot log friends. Let's see for the output. See, you have seen the output. The array is getting bigger by adding the Lohit to the last of an array. So using this push method, we can just add the variable to the array. Now let's push some functions in here. So it also can return something. Let's say that constant new length as a variable name here we are taking, and here we are giving friends dot push j, and then we are consoling this to this. Here we have declared in the j in the array. We just added one more push to this array here. As you can see, we have written in this format compared to this previous format. Actually, we don't need the length, but if we do, then we don't need the code separately. We can simply take the result of this function and store it into variables like we just did. Let's see another example how to add beginning of array so that it is an unshift method. So let's say we want to add John right next to the beginning of a Michael. So we are using here the method called unshift. Okay, here we are saying John. Okay, and then let's go down. See, in this unshift, we are just using this to add the John value in the array as a first, not at the end of the state, not the end of an array. So here we are declaring in the initial first place. So for that we are using the method called upshift. So this, let me just show you. This is to add element. So here first element, add first element, here add last element. Okay, in this way you can just differentiate so that it will be easier for you to identify. So this unshift is nothing like a push method. This unshift also return the length of a new array. As you can see that it is giving here new length 6. You can see. So next in this method, to remove element from an array, we'll use the method called pop method. So this pop method will remove the last element of an array. Let me just show you. As for suppose in our element, I just don't want a j. So friends dot pop. So we go ahead and console dot log. See, as you can see, it is just popping out this j from this array. So basically it removes the last element from the array. So if you declare 2 times here instead of once, so it will just remove two values from this. See, as you can see, it removed j and loweth. So basically, this first one removes this j, and this second one removes this loweth. So it comes from last to front. So in this format, we just remove these two. So our array here is left with 4, and we'll declare this constant into the. We'll declare this popped value into the constant. Constant we'll give pop equals to. Okay, here we'll just declare one more line. Console.log. See, in the first value, it just removed here the j, right? So j is removed completely. So in the second, we are going to remove this popped value and storing here into the popped. So we just called our popped. So the value removed from here, we are just calling out. So we just remove the second value loweth. So it is returning loweth here. So to remove the first elements, friends, John, right? Here we'll see an example. Remove first element. For that we need to write friends dot shift. Okay. Here we are specifying empty and then console log friends. Here we have given unshift to add our John in the first element, right? So reversely, we are using just the shift operator so that it removes the first John. Okay, so it is like inverse unshift to add and shift to remove the first element. So remember that. So next up, we'll use a very useful method which tells us in which position a certain element is the array. So for that, we'll just go ahead and console.log friends dot, let's say our Steven. Okay, see here we are getting the value of the Steven. So we just called out the middle value here in the array of Steven, right? So here we just got written. So when a value is not there in an array, for example, Stephen, it is there, it is giving the value of the Stephen 1. So let's say we have given one more value which is not present in an array. Friends dot index of, we'll just give here name which is not present in the array. So here we are taking Mike. So if we just go ahead and run it, it will simply give negative value -1. There is a similar method to this index of, but a bit modern. It is called includes. Instead of returning the elements index of, it will just simply return the true or false. If the element is present, it will just return true, or if the element is not there, it will just return false. So let me just take the same example here. Okay. In this example, instead of index of, we are going to declare includes. So when we run this, you can see it is Stephen is present in our array, so it is returning it true. It is not there Mike, so it is returning false here. This method actually uses the strict equality operator. So let's just push a value here at the end of an array. This dot push, for example, 23 here we are declaring. See here we just pushed out 23. Here we got 23. So let's just check for if we give the string value 23, not in the number. See here the string is also getting executed and it is getting test this if string 23 is equals to 23. Yeah, now let's make a small modification here. Let's use this here in includes here in this example. See, why we are getting false here? We are just checking out the console here, which includes string 23. But here it is input is given as 23 number, right? So here we are calling out for a string. So it is a strict operator. So it is a false here. So if suppose if we give here convert this here into string, now you can see it is a true value here. So our strict equality operator here it is true. Both the cases it is string 23. So here it is true. So we can also use the method to write conditional operators in this case. For example, friends includes Steven. Then console.log. You have a friend called Steven. Okay. See, the statement is true, it is getting executed as Steven. So if you give there is non-existent person in the string, so let's say Max. See, it won't get executed because there is no Max in our string here. So it won't return any output value here. So that's it about this arrays. I'll see you in the next section.